ICE raids going on. Apparently, this is in New York City. We got Kristi Noems. She was just confirmed. Kristi Noems, the Department of Homeland Security Secretary Noems. Let's go check out what she's doing. Shout out to Fox News.
So 15 minutes now before the hour is breaking news right now. It's happening. Kristi Noems in New York today with ICE agents continuing their apprehension of criminal illegal aliens in major American cities. Thus far, more than 7,300 have been taken off the streets in 1 week alone. And now the focus is New York City. That's a big focus, too. Alexis McAdams on the sidewalk to tell us what's happening out there. Alexis, good morning.
Hey, Bill. Well, we've talked about it for months, the migrant crime all across the Big Apple. So now those crackdowns are here. As we speak, ICE is raiding areas specifically out in the Bronx, and they're looking to target, Bill, migrants who they say are dangerous, including a Venezuelan man who was arrested earlier this morning who they say is dangerous. Take a look here, okay? This is some of the video. These guys rolled out into the streets of New York around 3 o'clock this morning. ICE agents out there on the streets. DHS showing us this video of the suspect cuffed, taken into custody out in the Bronx. The Venezuelan migrant arrested on these charges, okay? Kidnapping, assault, and burglary. Authorities say he crossed into the U.S. illegally at some point and had a warrant for his arrest out in Colorado, so they were looking for him for quite some time. Leading the charge this morning, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem, who says she's on the ground doing exactly what President Trump promised the American people. This was a multi-agency effort. Federal, state, local partners, you name it, they're all out there.
These folks got NVGs on. They got the whole kit. These people are ready to go. These people are ready to go. They got a lot of folks out here.
The ICE raids aim to remove violent criminals who are not supposed to be in this country in the first place. Back out here live, the raids are not just happening right here in New York City, but across the country. We've been showing it to you since the start of the administration. This is something the president said he was going to do, including a raid out in Denver. Watch.
Wow.
And the task force arresting 2 migrants there from Mexico who have ties to the Sinaloa and Jalisco drug cartels. 130,000 fentanyl pills found in that apartment, along with cocaine, meth, and heroin. The border czar says this is just the start of these raids. Back out here in New York, they've already arrested a suspect who they say is a suspected terrorist who was hiding out in New York the other day. And they got him behind bars. So this continues as these guys are still out in the streets right now.
Well, they could go for some.
It's cold outside. Those folks had like freaking riot shields. Yeah, they're not playing. They're not playing.
I'm too. Alexis, thank you. Nice to see you. That's Alexis McAdams outside with us today.
All
These
right,
folks.
Retired NYPD Lieutenant Darren Porcher.
Folks
Darren, great to have you with us this afternoon.
Ready.
I don't ever remember seeing Alejandro Mayorkas on the street during ICE raids helping to get rid of these people. And we know who they are. This is what gets me. They already know who these people are. They're just removing them.
Right. Well, it's clearly we have diametric enforcement as relates to this administration compared to the prior administration. But it really begs the question, and is quite telling, what the American people wanted was immigration reform.
Right.
They want these illegal migrants that have come into this country to be removed because you have a lot more people that have come to this country lawfully. And believe it or not, it's those lawful migrants that want the illegal migrants removed from this country. 55% of Latino males voted for Trump's agenda because it pushed the perspective of getting rid of these illegal migrants.
They want to be safe, too.
A question of priorities, too. I mean, New York City, in 2 years, has spent $7 billion on nearly 230,000 illegals seeking asylum here.
That's
wild. They want to charge you more money for driving your car in Midtown. It's extraordinary.
Crazy.
Illegal immigrants, here we go, 759,000 total. However, 58,626 with criminal convictions or pending criminal charges, and that's the number.
Illegal immigrants in New York City as of November 17, 2024, over 1,053 with suspected or known gang affiliation, 58,626 with criminal convictions or pending criminal charges. That's 759,218 illegal immigrants in New York City and there's 58,000 that have criminal convictions and pending criminal charges out of that, and 1,000 of them with suspected or known gang affiliation. What about the rest of them? That's crazy, bro.
That people like Tom Homan's going after.
Absolutely right. Look at it from the perspective of a macro and a micro level of enforcement. The macro is the broader perspective of the country. The micro is the focus on cities, which are sanctuary cities such as New York. The target is getting these illegal migrants out. We want to live in a safe society. And what you're going to see from the micro perspective in these sanctuary cities such as New York and Chicago, the crime rates are going to go down because we're going to remove a lot of these illegal migrants from these cities.
Yeah. Here's my conversation a while back with Mayor Eric Adams about this, because it could change politics in the city as well. Here's what he said when I asked him about letting ICE do their work.
Find a way through executive orders to allow ICE to function in this city, to carry out deportations.
We're going to allow them to, the areas where we can allow them to do right now, we're going to sit down with our attorneys and see what executive orders I can do to give me more power to go after those who are creating illegal acts.
How does that square with what you're seeing on the street right now?
Well, I think Mayor Adams is closing the gate after the horse has already escaped. I mean, this illegal migration has reached epic proportions, and there were many instances in the past where this could have been forwarded and it didn't happen. I think that he's getting on the bandwagon, but fortunately, the progression is going in the right direction to keeping us as the 8.5 million residents being safe. We're under siege based on this migrant crisis. When you go blocks away, you see a migrant shelter everywhere, and the crime is going through the roof.
Wow. He's going in right now. Hold up. Immigration crackdown, ICE arrests, total since Trump inauguration is 4,000. So he's hitting almost 5 every single day, besides 2 days of the week. He had less than 500. Wow. Monday, 1,000? That's crazy.
But hopefully we can get the job done.
Darren, what do you do when the churches or the schools protect them?
How do you feel about having a violent migrant in a school? So just think about that as a parent. Do you want a violent migrant in the schools? No. So there should be no holds barred. You should have the ability to go in there, if you have a warrant or not, to remove a violent individual from a school to ensure that our students are safe.
Right. Yo, shout out to Fox News. I mean, it's crazy that you need a piece of paper to go in and go do that. If you know for sure, if these folks have 100% positive intel that this individual is in this school, you get them out. I mean, this supersedes anything that any of these people, in my personal opinion, could just throw out here, man. You can't be harboring dangerous criminals, man. You can't be harboring dangerous criminals. You can't be harboring dangerous illegal criminals either. That's insane, bruh. That's insane. It's a tough job because you got to roll up in this school. You got all these freaking weapons going in, all these folks, like, it's just with these young kids in there who's just supposed to be in there learning, you know what I mean? But now they have to have their day interrupted because their school is accepting these illegal migrant children in them. That it's just like, it's oh man, it's crazy, bro. Ladies and gentlemen, it is insane. But the whole point of this is, if they're here illegally, wherever they're at, if they're in the United States, we need to get them out. And one thing I forgot to mention that Caroline Leavitt said something to the effect that President Donald Trump told her that the message needs to go out to not even just the United States. It needs to go out to every country that is part of NATO, that is allied with the United States. They need to be doing their own repatriation programs, but realistically, they need to be looking within themselves and figuring out if they have any of these illegal migrants in their own countries, and they need to start taking action so they can become safer. You know what I mean? So they can start taking care of their constituents, the people who inhabit these countries. You know what I mean? In these countries, in these cities. But this isn't just a United States thing. This is a worldwide thing, but it needs to start here, and we need to like get these folks, the bad folks, out of here. If you came here illegally, you gotta go. If you got a record, you're over here stealing, robbing, and hurting women and children and all this other stuff, that ain't it. And you gotta go. I'm sorry. There's no sympathy. But anyway, just checking out more of this info of like what's going on in New York City, these ICE raids. The new Department of Homeland Security Secretary, Kristi Noems, she's doing an absolute stunning job. She's leading the charge here, and she's doing a way better job than that guy, Secretary Mayorkas, who, in my personal opinion, he did a terrible job. So now this lady, a woman, has to come in and go clean up after this man because he can't go and go do he didn't do his job, and all the bureaucracy that goes into it. So anyway, it's your boy Kicking It with Timmy B. Let me know what you folks think in the comment section below. Hit the like, share, and the subscribe button. We're streaming on YouTube and Twitch at Kicking It with Timmy B, and we're streaming on X at KIWTB Gaming.